Hi dear students, welcome to Business Studies class. This is the third video of first chapter, Nature and Significance of Management. In this video we are going to learn about nature of a management and levels of a management. So let's start. So nature of management. So basically to do a study of nature of management, we have to do a study of three aspects here. That is the first one, management as an art, second one, management as a science, and third one, management as a profession. So by doing a study of these three aspects, we are going to check if the features of each aspect they are going to matching with the management or not. So let's start with the first one. So management as an art. All of you know what is the meaning of art. Art refers to skillful and personal application of existing knowledge to achieve desired results. It can be acquired through study, observation and experience. So you can take an example for art like a dancing, singing, cooking, painting. So these all are art. So let's see what are the features of art. So first one, existence of theoretical knowledge. In every art, systematic and organized study material should be available compulsorily to acquire theoretical knowledge. Means what? Behind every art or anything, theoretical knowledge should be there. Like if two students preparing for an exam, so presenting their answer is an art, and what you did a study or your study material, that is a theoretical knowledge to present your art or answer. So first point or first feature of art, it is going to match with the management. Means management also have a theoretical knowledge. So let's see second feature of an art. So second feature is personalized application. The use of basic knowledge differ from person to person. Is it right? So and thus art is very personalized concept. So just I told, presenting answer by two different students, maybe answer may be same but presentation may be different way. Okay, so similarly personalized application they are doing there. So what is the second feature of an art? Personalized application. So similarly for management, yes, manager to manager, personal application of knowledge may be different there. So second feature is also agree with management as an art. Okay, so now let's see third feature. So based on practice and creativity. So art, it is mostly depend upon practice and creativity. There should be a practice, continuous repeated thing should be there. So art involves inconsistent and creative practice of existing their theoretical knowledge. Means what? Dancing. If dancing is an art, there should be continuous, due to the continuous practice you may be perfect within that. So similarly continuous practicing of management process, manager going to be perfect within a management skill. Okay, so third feature of management as an art, it is agree. So by seeing all these three features, management may be art. Means what are the features of art? They are satisfied management as an art. Now let's see second one, management as a science. So what is a science? Science is a systemized body of knowledge that is based on general truth which can be tested anywhere, anytime. All of you know for science experimentation is the most important thing. So science, it is a same for everywhere. Okay, so you can take an example. The phenomenon of an apple falling from a tree toward the ground is explained by the law of gravity. So what is the gravity? That is the science, and it is the same everywhere. Yes, So now let's see what are the features of science and they are going to matching with the management or not. So first feature is systemized body of knowledge. So already in art also there should be also body of knowledge should be there. Means what? Theoretical knowledge should be there. So science has a systemized body of knowledge based on principles and experiments. Yes, for management also systemized body of knowledge should be required. Means what? Theoretical knowledge should be there. So first feature of a science, it is satisfied with the management. So let's see second feature. So principles based on experiments and observation. Initially I told science is mostly depend upon the experimentations. So scientific principles are developed through the experiment and observation. So repeated things or repeated experiments going to define the science. So similarly in management also trial and error method is important in a management process. So what is the second feature of science? It is agree with the management as a science. Now let's see what is the third feature. So universal validity. So scientific principles have universal validity and applications. Yes, but for science, gravity, it is a universally applicable or throughout the world, all over it is the same. Or but for a management it is not a same, it is a different everywhere. So this point it is not suitable for a management. By doing a study of three features for a science, third feature, what is the universal validity, it is not agree with the management. So we can call management, it is not totally science, but so as the principles of management are not exact as the principles of pure science, so it may be a called an inexact science. It is not a totally science, but we can call inexact science. So the prominence of a human factor in the management makes it a social science. Yes. So now let's see management as a profession. So profession means an occupation for which specialized knowledge and skills are required and entry is restricted. So like a doctor, lawyer, teacher, police, these all are profession. So in this point we have to check if the management it is a profession or not. So let's see what are the features of a profession. So first one, well defined body of knowledge, obviously. So in art, in science and in profession mostly theoretical knowledge should be there, that is a compulsory. So first point, it is a agree with the management, means all the professions are based on well defined body of knowledge. Means behind a doctor well defined knowledge should be there, behind a lawyer well defined knowledge on their field should be there. So first point, it is a satisfied as a profession for a management. Let's see second point, restricted entry. The entry in every profession is restricted through the examination or through some minimum educational qualification. Yes, for profession, for doctor, they should clarify MBBS exam. For lawyer, they should clarify their appropriate exam. For a charter accountant, they should clarify CA exam, CACS, like that. They should clarify their examination pattern should be there. But for a manager, there should not be any restricted entry there, but as soon as possible it is going to be happened in a future. So restricted entry for a management, it is MBA, but most on the experience basis they are going to entry in professional field as a manager. Okay, so third one, professional association. All professions are associated with the professional association which regulates entry and frames code of conduct relating to the profession. In so professional association means for each profession they have their own association, like associations of doctors or something CA associations are there, CS associations are there. So for each profession they have their own association to means to frame their code of conduct. So but for manager, these types of code of conducts, otherwise these types of associations are not there. So what is the third point? That is also not going to match with the management as a profession. So now let's see what is the fourth point. So ethical code of conduct, just like a for doctor, lawyer, teacher, what are the code of conducts are there, they should follow, or rules or regulation they should be follow there while they are in their profession. So all professions are bound by a code of conduct, means restricted with the rules which guides the behavior of its member. But for managers, such code of conducts are not there. So what is the fourth point of as a profession? So it is also not going to match here. So what is the fifth point? Service motive. The main aim of a profession is to serve its client. So this point basically, business, it is going to start for a profit motive, not for a service motive, but to satisfy our client, service motive should be there. So 50-50, this point is going to match with a 50-50. But totally, what are the features of profession? Totally, it is not going to match with the management as a profession. So we can call management is an art and in exact science, or management is an art and science, not a profession. But management does not fulfill all the features of profession and this is not a fulfilled profession like a doctor, lawyer, but very soon it will be recognized as a fulfilled field of profession. So in future it may be there, but up to this study, management as a profession, it is not there. Okay, in future it is going to be recognized. So let's see next point, levels of management. So totally there are 3 levels of management: top level management, middle level management, lower level or supervisory level. So top level management, you can take an example: chairperson or chairman, chief executive officer, that is the CEO, chief operating officer or equivalent, and their team. So main task of top level management is to integrate and to coordinate various activities of a business and framing policies or making a rules, setting a goals and strategies. Okay, so middle level of management, so you can take an example for middle level of management as a divisional or departmental heads, or you can call it HODs, plant superintendents and operation managers, etc. Okay, so middle level management are a link between top level management and lower level management. The main task of this middle level management is to ensure the availability of resources, to implement policies, to coordinate all the activities, ensuring availability of necessary personnel and assign duties and responsible to them. Okay, so next, lower level of management, that is the supervisory level. You can take an example as a foreman and supervisor. So the main task to ensure the actual implementation of the policies as per the directions. So this bit, it can be asked for your practical oriented question. So what is this diagram? That is a expected answer. So what is the question? Practical oriented question, that is assuming that you are the manager of an organization, draw the neat diagram of different level of management to specific that authority responsibility relationship creates a different level of management. So this diagram, triangular diagram, is the most important. That is your answer of your project oriented question. So along with top level, middle level management, middle level and supervisory level of management, so example are the most important thing here. So I hope you understood up to this. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you. Bye bye, take care, stay at home, be safe.